Good morning, everybody. Sorry, no music, no nothing, no time to waste. You guys have been waiting patiently long enough. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I ended up having to reboot my PC, and if I had started my stream normal time, we would have lost the stream. I would have had to make a new one and just upset everybody again, including me. So thank you for your patience. I'm not sure exactly what's happening with the FPS this morning. It's just one of those lousy days, it seems. Maybe it's weather. I mean, you can see the weather is kind of filthy over here. So we're going to do the best we can with the FPS we have, and hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So I've decided today is a tutorial day again. Okay. It's going to be a very basic thing because I pick up in the community that there are guys who are struggling with the very basics. And I know most of us have gone way past that and all, but we can't forget about them, you know. So the simple idea behind the tutorial is to make it very simple and make it very easy for a new guy to get into the Zibo and to just use it and to go make his flight with it. Okay. So the first thing that we need is I need to set up my edge so that we can show everybody what we need and what we're going to do. I am going to use Simbrief. I haven't used Simbrief in a long time as their graphical user interface. I'm so used to doing everything through our virtual airline, but I realized that not everybody are members of the airline. So I'm going to just keep it very basic. And on that note, please note, this is not a Simbrief tutorial at all. This is a flight planning tutorial just to make it easy for the guys to get from Simbrief into the Zibo, implement what Simbrief gave them and go fly. Okay, so that's the essence of it, those 3 steps. Okay, so don't read too much in it or too little in it. That's what it's all about. I'm starting up my bids and things here because I still need that in the background. And on that note, let me greet everybody here. Good morning, baie dankie vir jou. Nou dink ek weer in Engels, nee. Baie dankie vir jou patience. Okay. Anyway, Tommy, morning. Neil, Steve, morning guys. I still don't know what Stream Elements bot is doing on my stream. It is one of mine, but as far as I know, he's not authorized to be here at this time. It's just funny. It's a coincidence. So good morning to you too, bot. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this thing on stream. Right, YouTube is complaining that it's not getting enough data for a consistent stream. So guys, if you have a problem, with the flow on the stream, some buffering and stuff, I apologize. Google's not helping. Okay. Edge. Let's get Edge going. And Simbrief. So, step 1. For those of you that do not have a Simbrief account, please go to simbrief.com and please get a Simbrief account going for yourself. All right. On our Discord, in the Zibo install guide, and on almost every Facebook page and in the forums, the actual airframe that you need to use for the Zibo is there. We'll quickly touch on it. You guys can pick up on it. I'll show you in our Discord as well where it's at. Guys on Discord, do you have a problem if I show your names on stream, or must I minimize you guys?
No problem, sir, for me.
No problem.
No problem for me, sure.
No worries.
Cool. Right, so Simbrief, you're going to need that. The second thing that we just spoke about is obviously that template. So let me quickly bring the Discord over for you. And like I said, it's in all the other places, but in our Discord, you can see under Skymatix, you've got Skymatix info. There you've got the Simbrief airframe links, and all you need to do is follow the link and then link it into your account. And then you've got both of the official Zibo mod airframes. All right, so just bear that in mind. On my system, it's obviously already done in Simbrief. So I'll chat with you guys through that. So Good morning, Rob. When we get into Simbrief, and we go to our airframes, this is where we were talking about. You must just make sure now to get the right one in. I'm going to use the Zibo 189-seater. And then all we need to do is we need to go and create a new flight. So you can either do it that way or you come here to dispatch at the top. Once you click, well, I'll just hold the mouse there. You can then go to the dispatch system. That's where we want to be, and we want to create a new flight. And now we're going to start filling in the blanks. So I'm flying for Skymatix. That's our ICAO code. I'm just call it flight number 123. We're going to depart EGNM and EHAM. And I see the guys are quite busy at EHAM this morning, eh? So there we go. This is our departure time. If you're going to fly online, VATSIM, Iveo, Pilot Edge, whatever, any of these networks, please make sure that that time is in the future. Okay, because once you do your filing of the flight to register on the network, it's going to look at that time. So don't do yourself in. Make sure it's like half an hour at least ahead of you. Right. So that's the basics. The next thing we want to do is we want to go find that airframe we were talking about. So that is the one Zibo 189-seater that we're going to use. And then we're going to start looking at the rest of the stuff. Cruise, your CI, your cruise profile, cost index is the right word. I use 20. That's a standard we use in our VA. You can put it on auto or put it anywhere you want. That's up to you, but 20 is sensible. I think up to 40 is sensible for your ordinary airlines. Anything above 40 you'll basically do when you're really pushed for time and you don't care to burn more fuel. Don't start pushing it. You can go up to, I think, 499 or something. It's crazy. But you're going to have to, obviously, fly within your airframe parameters. So we'll stick to 20 today. My call sign is TIX001. That's very important as well for ATC purposes and stuff. Right. Then what we're going to look at is departure and arrival runways. Simbrief chooses them automatically. The pro side of it is it's cool. It chooses them for you, but it does not take any standard operating procedures in account that might be at the airport. One good example of where it kind of tends to make a mistake sometime is at LEMD, Madrid. The Madrid airport has got multiple runways, and some of them actually have terminals at the threshold, or just before the threshold rather. And then what happens is, according to the SOP, you are not allowed to use them for certain purposes, either takeoff or landing, okay? Because if anything goes wrong, that aircraft is literally going to crash into that terminal, killing a lot of people, a lot more than just the people on board, okay? And these are the kind of small little things that Simbrief doesn't take into account. It looks at the weather, it picks the closest runway, and it says, there you go, fine. So you can choose to use it, or you can choose to change it, right? As you see, as I change it, it also warns you that it's updating the SID and the star. You can say yes or no, okay? In our case here, as far as I know, the weather is actually 432. Gentlemen, what do you have as a takeoff runway?
14.
14. Okay, so the wind has changed in the last hour then. Okay, because when I started earlier, it was 32. Right, so obviously it's taken the right runway. We don't really have to worry much about any of these things. We can put our flight on auto. Right, the only thing I would suggest, if you are a little bit more advanced and you know a flight level that you want to fly, you can change that. But for our tutorial today, leave your altitude as auto. And then I'll show you later on in the OFP where to look at the altitude in case you have a step climb. It's very important, okay? So we're going to leave most of this just auto. We don't need to put in any remarks, and over there is our flight plan. All right. One thing I want to just mention, I skipped that, but let's mention it. Your AirAC cycle needs to be up to date for this to really be of any value. It needs to be up to date in Simbrief. It needs to be up to date in your aircraft, the Zibo mod in question today. So make sure you're on the right AirAC. Otherwise, you might have a problem with your SIDS and stars and airways and things. Okay. So coming back to the actual flight plan, you can see that Simbrief has now added a SID and it's added a star that is now associated with the runways. All right, and I showed you already, if you change it, it will change them. Okay, so this is at best a very, very good guess. Okay, and if you are new to flight simming and so on, there's no reason why you can't use it. If you're going to fly online and the ATC want you to change something, they'll tell you. So it's fair enough at this point in time to say, let's just use that. Okay, so that's Simbrief generated. On the side here, this is where I personally have a problem with Simbrief. These are the last flights to and from the destination, or sorry, the origin to the destination. And these flights were generated by guys like you and me. Now, some of the people who generate these flights are not pilots. They're not even good sim pilots. They either know what they're doing or they have got no clue what they're doing. All right. Some of these routes might be Eurocontrol verifiable and usable in the real world. Some of these are literally thumb sucked by some kid somewhere sitting in his mother's basement. Okay. So when you start looking at these kind of things, I'm very hesitant to just pick something. I'll stick to just what it gives me. And if I really want to, I'll go check it in a route finder. Just make sure that it's reasonable, that it's usable. But I tend to shy away from this because I do not know the quality of it. I don't know the quality of the person who made it. It might be the most brilliant guy on earth. I don't know. It might work, might not work. So stick to that for now. And if you really want to check something, go check in the route finder. The free route finder they give you over here, you can't do any Eurocontrol checks. If you want to do a Eurocontrol check on it, you can do the validation over there if you really want to. But for our tutorial today, we're sticking to the basics. Okay. And this is the basics. This is literally what you need except for this little column on the right-hand side. And I purposefully left it to the end because this is important. Okay. In the Zibo mod, we prefer you guys to use the Lido format. All right. Obviously, when you fly for a certain airline, you want to use their OFP. I'm not saying you can't use it. But to facilitate the uplink of the winds and the stuff, this one works the best. All right, so if you want to uplink your winds and stuff into the Zibo FMC instead of typing it in, my recommendation is to just stick to Lido and get it over with. Okay, my units, we use kilograms because that's how we fly. If you're in the US or somewhere else where they use pounds, by all means change it. It's up to you. Then your contingency fuel. There are actual aviation laws that govern your contingency and your reserve fuels. All right. So me personally, I prefer to have 5% or 20 minutes. All right. But this is a legislative thing. The ICAO minimum reserve fuel, and what this means is that once you reach your destination airport, once you reach your alternate airport, okay, so you have an origin, a destination, and then an alternate. Once you reach your alternate, you need to be able to circle for 30 minutes before you fall out the sky. And that's where that 30 minutes comes from. Okay, so put the 30 minutes in there. This all in all should give you 50 minutes to an hour extra additional fuel at any point in time. All right, depending on the weather, you might want to increase it. Okay, but it mustn't be less than this. Right. Your ticks in your boxes, that's up to you whether you want to see those things or not. I like it the way it is. And once you've set this, you can actually click on Save Default. It will remember it for the next time. So this is something you just set once. Okay. And this is the only little Simbrief itself tutorial that I'm really concerned about. So once everything is filled in, we're just going to click on Generate the Flight. All right, so there you have it. There's everything that you need. So a couple of things to note over here. You can download manually your OFP in a PDF format. All right, you can keep this page open and you can continue read it, but this is your OFP. This is really all we need. This is what we're going to take into the aircraft, this page over here. All right, then to make it easy on yourself, keep trying. This thing is very unstable with me today, this Simbrief downloader. I'm just asking it to retry again. You've got two options from here, how to get your flight plan into the Zibo mod. So this is where you download all the formats. You see flight plan downloads. You can go down to explain. There's explain 11 and 12. You can click the download button and then you can point it into this place. You have your explain 12 output FMS plans folder. So you need to make sure that your FMS plan goes into this folder. Explain 12 output FMS plans. And like I say, you can do this manually or you can do it through the downloader, and I'm hoping the downloader actually works. Yes, there we go. There's the downloader. So it worked. It's just a bit slow. All right, so in the downloader, which you also download from that Simbrief website, I've already set up my Explain 12 folder, output FMS plans, and we also need the XML data file. So just to go back to Edge quickly, you'll see here at the very bottom, you've got the Explain 12 and you've got the XML data file. The XML data file is where Zibo reads the uplink for the winds. That's where he gets the information to put in your forecast page. All right, so those two files you need, and that is why I've pre-configured them in my downloader, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to export them quickly. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to close it, and there you go. You'll see the two files are there. Hey, Nicholas. Yellow control checks. Where did you see that? I am at a loss. I did not see yellow control checks. If you give me a little bit more information, I can probably work it out. Coming back to our two flight files, what you do need to do for the Zibo is you need to rename that file. It can't be that long file name. It has to have the correct file name, and it has to match both. Right, so the only difference is the one is a .fms and the one is a .xml. So the moment you import the actual file, it will import both of them into your FMC. All right, and that's very important. We'll show you later on why and how and where. Right. Okay, Nicholas, I've quickly Googled this yellow control checks. The closest I can get is after extended downtime, there's certain checks and there's the word yellow appears in there, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I thought this is what. Oh, it's not yellow control. No, let me spell it for you. It's yellow control. Now I'm with you. Hold on. There you go. It's Euro control. So basically what happened, I'm actually going to show you in Route Finder. Let me show you in Route Finder, and I'll show you exactly how it works. We're deviating a little bit from the tutorial, but that is an interesting topic. So I'm going to show you quickly. All right, so Euro control governs the airspace in Europe, like you have the FAA in America, for instance. And what happens is they've got certain published routes that they use, all right? And what I mean by the Euro control route is it will either satisfy their needs, it will then get a check mark, yes, it's a Euro control approved route, or it won't. So let me quickly show you. This is the route from today. I have no idea how high we're going to fly. We probably, you know what, we're probably going to do about 290, something like that. What do you guys have for a cruise altitude, gents?
350.
Okay, so we can go
310 for me.
Okay, right. So we're going to generate a route, and believe it or not, this is exactly the route that we have in Simbrief. If you go look at that route, it's exactly the same route. LAMIX, is it? Yeah, exactly the same route. Now, in order for it to be a Eurocontrol approved route, we need to validate it. Now, this is the payware version of Route Finder that I mentioned earlier. So, right, if we click on validate, it now goes to their servers, it checks it. It's that, you know, verification that they do, and it comes back, it says no errors. All right. So it also provides you with a database that you can read through. So you can change your route. If you keep an eye on the screen, you'll see that little red line changes with every option. Now, some of these routes will be Eurocontrol validated or validatable. Some won't be, and with my luck, all of them will probably be. But you see, some of them are sensible, some of them are not sensible. Okay, now when you go into Simbrief and you just pick a route, or if you use Navigraph or any other flight planner, there's a 50-50 chance that route will be, you know, a valid Eurocontrol route or not. It doesn't mean you can't fly it in the sim. It just means that you can't use it in the real world. Okay, so that's where the Eurocontrol thing comes in. Nicholas, I hope that helps. Sorry if my pronunciation caused a bit of a stir there. It kind of threw me off when you asked about the yellow, but thanks for coming back and so on. So that's just all it is. All right. Guys, so we've done the creation of the route. We've got all of the necessary files already in Explain waiting for us. The next step is going to be to actually go find this PDF. I obviously download it with my downloader as well, and I know where to go find it. You'll have to set it up, or you can just click on it. It will bring it into your browser just like this. Right, so there it is. This is what it looks like in the browser. You know what? We might as well use it straight from here then. Okay, let's quickly zoom in a little bit and then make it easier for everybody to read it. Okay. Right, let's stow this quickly. Travis, my buddy, I hope your dream works out. Go for it. Try your best. T7 driver. In PFPX, I was able to specify holding fuel and extra time fuel separately. Yeah, let's go back there. So basically your reserve fuel will be what I would suggest to use for your holding in Simbrief as such. Okay. Contingency, I don't think that's really made for that. That's not where you'll add it. But if you want to add more, just add it over here, your reserve fuels. You know, just pop it in there. All right. Okay, so we're done. We've got all the information that we need, and we can now go to the actual aircraft. What I just want to do is I just want to quickly run it through our virtual airline. Okay, so guys watching the tutorial specifically, don't pay attention now. This is just for me and my lonesome self. I just want to get the VA in the same position that I can actually fly and get some credit in the VA with this flight. Okay, so don't pay attention to this. This is all on me. All right, you guys said we're doing 14. Okay, which runway are we arriving? 13 or 18, right?
18 right, yeah.
There we
Long
go.
taxi.
There we go. All right, remember what I said about the time. So we need to get the time correct here. This is going to be 9:25. It's a bit far ahead, but it's fine. You see now this page, just for interest's sake, this is exactly linked to Simbrief. So whether I do it in Simbrief or whether I do it, in my VA, it all works exactly the same. So there I've just told it to use the auto flight level, for the step climb. I think I've got everything, and then I'm just going to generate the flight here quickly. And this way I can actually just book the flight for myself. So again, it's not part of the tutorial. Don't worry about this. Right. Okay, I need to quickly shut that one down, and I need to start my ACARS. You're welcome, Nicholas. I'm just quickly picking up on this. Let me show you what I'm doing. So this is just my little tracking tool for the VA. So I start my flight in it, and then it tracks me, and I get my brownie points at the end of the day. There you can see the other guys are flying already. All right. Oh yeah, there's something I still wanted to show you. One other thing I really want to show you. Can we go back there? No, Simbrief is not allowing us. Damn it. Oh, there we go. It's just let it through. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. So if you guys fly on VATSIM or IVAO, once you get to this generated page, this is where we're at. You can scroll down to the very bottom. There you have VATSIM, IVAO, Pilot Edge, and POSCON, and you can actually pre-file the flight just by clicking that button. Now, because I regenerated a flight in the VA, I'm actually going to just click it from here. It takes you to the same page, but I want to use the information from the VA. So FYI, and just for your information, there you go. So this is where I would set up, and I see I've got flight level 31, RMK, YouTube, Skymatix 1, and our time of the flight is correct, and I can just submit it. So the moment I do this, obviously I can now go and connect to the IVAO network, and they have all my flight details and everything. Same goes for VATSIM and any other network for that matter. So there we are online. Right, so going back now, we're at this page. We're done, in fact, with Simbrief. I'm going to close it. I don't need it anymore. I don't need that one. I don't need the route finder thing. Then what we're going to do is now inside of the cockpit, we're going to start setting up using the information we have, but there's a couple of steps to do before then. Right, okay. Good, so good practice. If you get into the aircraft, make sure you've got ground power, open your doors. If you have some ground crew add-on that you can use, you might as well just use it. This is just me, my flow that I use, so you're welcome to follow it. So if you guys are looking for the tutorial in brackets again, you can start looking from here on. This is now going to be important again. All right. Pushback, we said we're using 14. Suppose the line is somewhere there, yes.
Ground to flight deck. I can now see where you want to go. Just call me through the menu when you're ready.
Wonderful. Right, so that is done. That's in place. I'm going to start the flight leg. Then I'm going to go in the EFB to the fuel, weight and balance button. And this is now important. So let's get that one up. All right. In the Zibo, I'm going to show you the quickest way of doing it, okay? The easiest way. This is how I do it. There is a more difficult way of doing it, but you can definitely go play with that on your own. I am worried about the payload, and I'm worried about the fuel. Once you enter the payload and the fuel, the Zibo mod, the code that Zibo wrote, will distribute it correctly to give you the best takeoff, best stable takeoff CG that's possible with your weights. Okay, so how do we get them? The first thing that we need to do is we need to scroll down till we get to weights. You see there's weights, all right? And over there it tells us payload 17.5. Now remember I use kilograms, so that's 17.5 ton. 17.5, enter. Then we go back. Now we find the fuel, and our fuel is 5.6 tons. Right, so now you see there's a difference between what is and what isn't. Okay, inside of those tanks, you can see in the graphic there we're kind of low. So now we need to call the fuel truck.
Ground flight deck hose disconnected and starting refueling.
Right, so if we go outside, I think we're going to have 2 fuel trucks now. Yeah, oops. We've got 2 fuel trucks. The one is the one that we use, and the other one comes with its ground services. I apologize. I didn't think further ahead. Okay, but anyway, there you go. The aircraft is now being prepped. Everything is getting loaded. The people are coming into the aircraft because we started the actual flight. Okay, if you want to simulate cleaning before you start the flight leg, you can click there. You'll hear the Hoover in the background and the cleaning and the noises and stuff. That's one of those things. Then, while this is now loading, you see there it's busy loading. It's obviously going to take some time. I'm going to start prepping. Okay, and for those of you that don't know, there is actually a flashlight or 2 built into the system. And you can have a red one, which is not very effective right now, or you can have the white one. So batteries on, ground power on, your emergency exit lights must be on. That I'm going to put to auto, and then we can start actually flipping some light switches and getting some light on the subject, and then we go and set our IRSs to nav. If you turn that knob, it actually shows you it's going to take 9 minutes to align the IRSs. Once we have white, we should be able to switch on the yaw damper, and then we go for our window heat and circulation fan. This I just do for my own sake, don't worry too much about it. I just check for volts and amps if there is anything happening there. Alright, also what we're going to do is we're going to put on the hydraulic pumps. Those are the electrical hydraulic pumps, and the reason for that is whoever does the walk around should then find any oil leaks, hydraulic leaks, you know, if there are any. Right, so then we said we're flying 310, and we can look at our charts quickly. I use Navigraph just to help myself here, so let's quickly have a look. See, I know it's going to be 0, but I'd love to show you. Now it's not listening. Let's just refresh quickly. No, it's going to be 0 there, so
yes, you're right, 0.
yes. So Amsterdam is like -10 or -15 or something.
-11.
Yeah, something like that. Right, so if we go to the airport, there you go, -11, it tells us over there, -11 feet. So 0 is appropriate for us over there. Right, this is Leeds where we are at, and we can stow this guy again. I'm just keeping the little flashlight on here just to put some light on the subject, because as we all know, they explain 12 cockpit is kind of dark. So, right. Right, the one thing I did not show you guys, and I think I'm going to quickly show you. Okay, this is little nav map, right? And I'm going to show you in this one. This is your Simbrief OFB, remember? That is our route over there. So what I'm going to do...
Fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Just want that line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this into the flight plan description. Hello, Robert. Right, then I'm going to say from clipboard, and I'm just going to quickly edit the runways out. We don't have errors, and then we're going to create the flight plan. All right, now for me to export this to the Avid tab, I have to maximize it and then zoom to a suitable level, and then I just do an export. Right, so this will put it in the correct place in X-Plane 12, and when we're done, we can just close it. We can go to Avid tab.
Your OFB is still in the way, Nico.
I've just removed it. Sorry, you guys are about 8 seconds behind me, something like that. Right, there's our plan EGNM to EHAM. There you go. So anyway, there you now have the flight plan with the tracking ability in your Navigraph. The other way of doing this obviously is you can go to map. How do we change it now? Oh yes, there. Sorry, my stupidity. If you have Navigraph integrated, you can obviously have Navigraph low and high airways in there, or you can use any of these other maps. I just prefer to use the Mercator and have this map that I make myself. That's just me. Right, but you obviously you can link up, and let me just show you how to link up, because that's going to be the next question somebody is dying to ask. So if we go to Avid tab and we go to the actual plugin, because this is where you need to do it, you need to go to providers and you need to go to Navigraph and link your account. Obviously I'm not going to switch my account or do something funny, but this is where you need to set it up, please. Otherwise your Navigraph is not going to work. See, because now, oh man, why did you do that? If we go to EGNM with Navigraph linked in, we can actually go and find the airport information. Okay, I'll redo it. Yes, it's. I think I understand what you were trying to say to me. I'm going to redo the Navigraph, the little nav map thing just now. Sorry, guys. I knew I took it off, but it was obviously too late. All right, so there's that one. Okay, let's backtrack. Let's go back to little nav map. Apologies, gentlemen. So we're going to start again, okay? We're going to copy this route. And copy that route. Now I'm stowing it. Okay, there you go. Gone. Right, then we're going to go to flight plan. Let's just bring it down a bit so you guys can see. We go to flight plan. Flight plan route description is where we want to go to, and then we say from clipboard. We just copy it in there. You can go Control V or Shift Insert as well, obviously. Right, you need to remove the runway numbers and that / there, and then we just say create the plan. And then the same story. And this is where I just zoom into my level where I want it to be. Something like that, maybe a little out. Okay, something like that. And then I go to File, and I choose Save Map as Image for Avid tab. Click OK. It then opens, you'll see it opens your resources, plugins, Avid tab, map tiles, Mercator, and you just save it. Okay, I'm not going to save it again, but you get the idea. Then I'm just going to close it. Right, and now we're back. So we're going to go to map. We're going to choose Mercator, and there you have it, EGNM NM to EHAM, and you can manipulate it. So apologies guys, sorry for having to do it twice. Thanks Steve and thanks Kies. Sorry I didn't understand initially what you meant. Okay, good. So coming back over here, obviously now we can add a couple of things here. We can look at our departure. Hang on a second. Where's this thing? LAMIX 2X. There we go, it's that one. Alright, there we go. So it's a straight out departure going on to where we need to go. Okay, then once we're done with EGNM, because those are the only two things we want, we can now go to EHAM, skip all, next, and now the big search will start. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, I remember there was a certain order and now I can't remember exactly how it is. So let's start with the arrival. If it's the wrong order, I'll explain. Right, so our arrival is a LAMSO, which will be that one. Alright, so we're going to come in there from LAMSO and we're going to go to Sugol. Okay, so we want that one up now. We're going to go back. That's the arrival. Now the approach is going to be ILS runway 18 right. I'm going to take that one because it includes all the Cat 2s and 3s and everything. Right, so that's the basic approach. But in this instance, there is another one. There is a nighttime transition as well. We're not flying at night, so I'm not sure exactly how valid it is to really worry about this, because this thing takes you into kind of a loopy loop around the airport there on the VOR. I'm just going to quickly open it. Let's see.
When it's busy, they use the loop also at daytime.
Is that they do? Okay, that's good to know. You're very quiet, Peter. Is it just me? Let me boost you a bit.
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay. No, I'll have boosted you. You sound okay now. Right, okay, so we're coming in from Sugol, and well, this thing is not showing us. Maybe I didn't pick the right one. In Navigraph. Sorry?
I think it's the right one.
Yeah, it must be.
What you'll see when you have ATC, they will factor you from Sugol.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure you will. So what I was thinking this morning when I was doing the planning is I don't feel like flying straight through over the VOR, going into the whole, coming back out and then doing this whole fancy story, you know. I mean, there it shows you better. There you've got your entry, you do the whole thing, you come back out and then you do the loopy loop there. So what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look from Sugol maybe to go to that one, AM241. But we'll worry about that when we get there. When we do the FMC programming, I'll speak to you guys and you give me advice and we'll take it from there.
I'll do the same. I'm not going to do the loop to loop.
Yeah, no, there's no point. There's no point. All right, and then the other thing that we want is just the airport. Now go and click it. Airport information. There's your airport. We're going to land here. So we're going to drive all the way from Cape Town to Joburg to get to the terminal. I'm telling you, it's a long drive. Right, okay, so in essence, there we go. That now takes care of the whole of Navigraph, and you can literally start, there's your airport, there's your departure, There's your arrival. There's the approach. Okay, page 2. It should actually be page 1, but anyway. Okay, so that's just in the wrong order, but you can figure it out. And then that is what you have on the other side for the airport. Okay. So I don't necessarily use it, but that's how you set it up. I prefer to just have this one. I've got other ways of doing it. But for the tutorial purposes, I hope somebody picked up on something and you can go play with it later and make it work the way you want it to work. Okay. Okay, let's continue setting up, putting some lights on for what it's worth. Right, I'm not flying with Linda today because of the tutorial. I don't want to confuse anybody with that lady helping me, so it's me and me flying today. Right, on Aveo, they like to have us on the squawk code of 1000, so we're going to do that. Okay, to make our life easier, let's just pretend we're not flying with ATC at this moment, and we obviously know that we want to get to the ILS on runway 18. I'm going to put it up in Navigraph just to make it look a bit easier, so I can explain to you guys a bit easier. So there's Navigraph. This is for runway 18 right. We need a frequency of 110.1 that you guys can see over there. Can you see the mouse? Yes. I'm just going to pop it over 1101. Right. Flip it back. 1101. Flip it back. Then, good practice. There's the VOR. It's 108.4. We're just going to put that in there. 108.40. We don't want to flip it at this time. 40. Okay, so in the event that we know a little bit more, want to play a bit with the VOR, we can use that. That's just a reference point for us at this point in time. We're going to use the ILS, so we're happy with that. Right, then it's on to our FMC. In the FMC, I'm going to go back to this document, and we're going to go back to weights and stuff like that. I'll show you. So this is the way I do it. This is my SOP. Some of it comes from the FCOM, some of it is Ryanair based, and some of it is something that I've adapted just because this is a flight simulator and we are a one-man crew. Okay, I'm still working, believe it or not. I've been so busy the last 3 weeks I haven't even touched that multi-crew checklist. It's just one of those things. We'll get there. When you fly multi-crew, you don't program the FMC like this at all. It works totally different. There's a different sequence where the pilot flying and the pilot monitoring each have their designated roles. It's irrelevant for us. I'm going to show you how I do it. And I promise you, in 5 years, I've been involved now with Zibo, over 5 years. It works. Okay, so there's no point in arguing. If your SOP is different, use it. This is just how I do it. So we're going to start with the position, and we have to go to the next page and we get GPS left. Right, GPS left is the main GPS. You can use GPS right. That's obviously the standby, failover, failsafe, but GPS left is the standard. Right, the next step we're going to do is we're going to go to the route. Now remember, when we did the export and the rename, we now have a specific name that we have to put into company route, otherwise it's not going to work. So we're going to go EGNM and EHAM 01, and we're going to click on company route. That now imports it for us. Okay, we know that we're going to use runway 14 from our planning, and if you can't remember, you can always check it up here under your routing. See routing over there, it says EGNM, it's runway 14. Okay, My flight number is TX001, or my call sign actually. That will be the call sign. That goes in there, and then we can activate and execute it. Okay. If we go to the departure, we need to select runway 14, and now again here, if you can't remember, there it tells us. I don't know why it's struggling to pick up on that last character, but there you go, LAMIX 2X. LAMI 2X. Alright, so choose LAMI 2X and execute it. Then we're going to go to the arrival, and we said we're taking ILS 18 right. Okay. We are then looking for LAMSO to Alpha, which is that one. You see LAMS to Alpha. Alright. Right, this is now where I'm hesitant. I really don't want to do this whole transition and everything like that. So I'm going to skip the transition, and then when we step through the FMC, we're going to check where we on and off, where the discontinuity is, and how we can actually make the jump from Sugol over there at Sugol onto
When you go one page down, you see the Zibo 1 Delta transition.
Okay, so what you're saying to me is you want me to put it in?
That's what I did, sorry.
Okay, because the reason I want to skip it, Peter, is because I don't want to go and edit too much. I just want to jump from Sugol to Nursey, basically. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, you can do that later. You can do it in the transition. So.
See, that's why I'm skipping that one. So let's execute it and then have a look. Let's see what it looks like. Then we can reevaluate. You know, we can always go back, edit, and copy and paste and whatever. Right, so now we go on to the plan view. All right, it says plan for those of you that hasn't seen it yet. PLN is plan. So it's normally on map. We move it to plan view, and then we can step through. So you basically you click on legs, and you'll see step, and you're going to step through. Right, the big thing is you want to see that it flows forward. So many guys make the mistake, they don't do this, and they get to a specific point, and the aircraft literally turns around and flies backwards because there's a waypoint behind them and they didn't realize it. Right, I see we're getting closer here now, so I've had to go one page back. There's Sugol. Okay, and from Sugol, it seems to be taking me to finals now. Because I didn't put the transition, it's taking me straight to finals.
Exactly.
Right, that is a heavy 90-degree turn over there. That's going to be a bit weird. Okay, so we've got one of two choices. We can either go put that transition in and then manipulate the transition, or we can vector ourselves, or we can bargain on ATC to be there to vector us. Okay, so well then there's three options. At this point in time, I'm curious. I want to go see what that transition does.
What I normally do, Nico, is I put in the transition, and then I delete the waypoint Netom, November, Echo, Tango, Oscar, Mike.
That's probably
then it goes from Sugol to Nursing.
That is exactly what I was looking for earlier. So, okay, good practice. Thank you so much. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oops, that's too much. All right, so if we look, there's Sugol, just off screen there's Sugol, then it goes to Netom and then Nursey. But what we can do is, like our good friend here, Peter said, we can delete Netom. Right, so let's go find it.
For your information, just for your information, I did exactly the same.
Okay, excellent. Right, so there's Netom. So we're going to delete it by clicking on Nursey and then clicking on Netom. So we bring the flight plan up and we execute it. And then if we zoom out, you should see, there you go, Sugol directly to Nursey is the next one. I love it when a plan comes together. Zoom in a bit. There we go. Right, so now you've got a better angle of intercept there. So that's cool. That's what I like. Okay, so let's just step through to the end. All right, okay, and you can see that we're only moving forward. There's no jumping backwards, and now we are doing the go-around procedure, which is fine.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sasso.
Good morning, Sasso.
Morning.
Right, okay, so that takes care of all of that. Now, what we need to do, I'm going to stick to basics. I'm not going to confuse everybody. I'm going to go to the map quickly. I'm going to check on my QNH. By the way, guys, if you saw my video yesterday, the stream yesterday, and we spoke about Antonio's version upgrade fix to the NOAA weather plugin. Hello, Antonio. I see you are here. I didn't notice you here. I just want to tell them that you are working on it, and I like the improvements. I'm not going to say more than that, but there's a nice improvement coming. All right, so our QNH is 1001. All right, so we know that QNH is correct. We know all of this is correct, and then we can click on route RTE and continue. Right, so I'm going to bring up the OFP again. We're going to need it now. All right, once your fuel is loaded, you can click on zero fuel weight. If you want to check that it corresponds to your OFP, there you go, zero fuel weight, 60.6. You will get this if your Zibo is set up correctly. Okay, follow the Zibo install guide, please, please, please. Then it will work. Okay, if you don't get the same values here, you know you missed something in the setup. Okay. Reserves. We're going to go back to upstairs here. Okay, let's start from the top.
Can I add one thing, Nico?
Yeah.
One very small thing.
Yeah.
It's exactly as you said. Consider, guys, that you need to wait that the fuel on board is completed, the fuel requested is completed, to insert the performance for takeoff, okay? Or even the performance in it page, let's say.
Yes.
You can fill up everything else because the zero fuel weight is zero fuel. So it doesn't take into account the fuel that you are gonna request to the fueler. So when you put the zero fuel weight, you can already fill in the performance init page, but before going into the takeoff performance, you need to wait the fuel on board completed. Yes. Because the takeoff page will take care of the gross weight, which is going to be your zero fuel weight plus any fuel that you loaded up at that time. So you need to wait for the fuel to complete the takeoff page.
Yeah, because this is a basic tutorial, I don't want to go into the plan fuel and all these other stories. So exactly what Sasso said, that's perfect. That's perfect. That is why I said wait till the fuel is done, then continue from here on. There's no point. There's no point in us going to the advanced level in this tutorial. There are other tutorials where we've spoken about it, and we'll speak about it again. But
yeah. There's more notes here to add, which is a threat that we may encounter. If at any point in time, guys, you have already selected the takeoff speed and you change anything in the performance init page, either the zero fuel weight, the cost index, or something else, you are going to lose the takeoff speed. So you want to complete the takeoff page really as the last thing before pushing.
That's it. That's it. After the whole FMC is done, in other words.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. So that brings us now to our reserves. All right. Now, in the Lido format, we're lucky. It gives it for us there. So if you scroll from page 1 just a little bit down, there you've got it. You see, 2272. So I'm going to make it 2.3. Right.
Do you want us to mention what the reserve fuel is, Nico? Oh, well, it said there. No, it says there in your flight plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, then cost index over here, because remember I said to you guys we use a cost index of 20 in our virtual airline. It obviously tells us the cost index of 20, so I'm just going to put 20. All right, so for the performance in the paperwork and the Zibo to match, use the same. You know, if it's 40, it's 40. If it's 30, it's 30. We use 20. Okay. Then this is where you need to look at. You see, it's talking about flight level steps. All right. If for some reason there's an airspace problem or something, you will, or a weight problem in the aircraft, you'll get step climbs if you followed the procedures we spoke about in the beginning. So what you need to do is just double check here. So we're going to fly at 330. All right. Now, this obviously came about after the fact when so just to put you in the picture, I created the first flight in Simbrief, and then I created the second flight in the VA. That's where the discrepancy is. The VA wants me to fly 310, but Simbrief wants me to fly 330. So I'm just going to, because this is the paperwork we have, I'm just going to stick to this. All right, so we're going to use the 330, but that's where the discrepancy came into.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Well, Nico, you want to check later on because it could be a bit high, 330.
I was also thinking the same. And that's why we all said 310. Anyway, okay, we'll check it as we continue. I don't want to confuse the new users. That's my only problem I have with changing things now in the middle. We know what we're doing, but they might not know. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so, okay. Now this brings us to the cruise winds and the ISA deviation, okay? This is not the right way of doing it. It's the easy way of doing it, okay? And it's the quick way of doing it. And we can argue for at least 10 minutes about the validity, yes or no. Because we have an average wind over there. In initial training, what I usually do is I say to the people, use that, okay? If you want to do it more proper, scroll down, go find your top of climb. There's top of climb, and then you can use the winds. That would be the more technically correct winds to put in there, okay? But I've seen it too many times. People get confused or they forget. So the easiest way to just teach somebody in the beginning is just take those winds, okay? We're not going to do advanced winds, route winds, anything else today. It's irrelevant. We're just wanting you to get the feel of it at a basic understanding and get going. All right, so that is the one I would recommend for a tutorial like this. All right, then your average ISA, again, same story. You can scroll down, you can do all kinds of calculations even if you want to get it. But while we are given the value there, I mean, the difference is going to be 1, 2, or 3 degrees, maybe, if even. It's not that much. Okay, so you might as well just use that one. So the M means minus and then 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the minus button over there. And we're going to choose 1 and put it in there. That's it. Now we're done and we execute this page. Alright, next step. I'm not going to fiddle with this. I'm not even going to try and explain to you. Just leave it. This is going to give you the maximum thrust available at this point in time for the configuration that you have. Leave it. Okay, once you get to the more advanced stage, we can talk about the rates and all these things. Then, takeoff. We're going to do flaps 5 takeoff. We're going to double click the CG, because once you have the CG percentage, we can set the trim. We know where the trim is going to be. And then we're going to input our V speeds. Right. If it is rainy, if the surface is wet or it's snowy, you can always go to page 2 and you can change those ones. If you change it after you've inputted the V speeds, it will kick him out and then you have to redo the V speeds. It will physically tell you there's a problem with the V speeds, you have to redo them. In fact, let me show you, why not? Just put it on wait. You see takeoff speeds have been deleted. We go back to the other page And then we just click them again. It's easy as that. Okay, so for our intents and purposes, we're taking off on a wet runway. Right. And that is it. Why did I go out there? Don't know. Take off. Right, so we're going to use that now to configure the Zibo mod. We want a trim of 575 and a V2 of 147. Right, you see now when Linda is in the cockpit with me, she does this for me. I'm guessing that is approximately right. Excellent, Dracula, excellent, good. Right, that's a reasonable guess, and then we're going to turn this little knob plate zoom in. 147, that's our speed, right? In Navigraph, or whatever other chart you are using, we're going to look at the runway heading. It says 138 over there. And we're going to set our heading to 138, which is still 138. Our courses are all 138, that's fine. And we're going to go up to 330 because we told the FMC we're going there. And then we need to make sure that our overhead also reflects 330. Right. So whatever the cruise would be. Now, if you're flying online and you have ATC, which we don't have right now, you're going to obviously set your altitude to whatever ATC tells you to. You're not just going to bust the altitude and get into trouble. Okay. Then what I do is I arm, auto throttle first the captain's flight director and then the co-pilot's flight director. And if you want to know whether your FMC is programmed correctly, all you do is you click those two buttons, LNAV, VNAV. If those two lights come on, you know that your programming in the FMC is correct. If it doesn't, it means you either forgot to execute one of the pages, typically the performance, the perf init page. You know, then you have to go back, execute the page, and then make sure everything else is correct, and then those two lights will simply come on. Okay. When we do real flight ops, when me and Sasso and anybody else fly with shared cockpit, and we have a different way of doing it, then we're not going to enable them at this stage. They only get enabled much later. Okay, so just forget about that. We're talking flight sim now and just basic tutorial, so you might as well keep them on. No difference. All right, we're going to set our auto brake to RTO, make sure the light extinguishes, and then we know the rejected takeoff is armed. Right. At this point in time, we can close the doors, start our APU if it's not started yet. We can send the ground crew guys away. And we can call better pushback.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross check and all call, thank you.
Round to flight deck, the tug is driving up.
All right.
All right, got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Wow. Look at the fog. Visibility is terrible. My FPS isn't really great. It's like it's bleeding out somewhere. Damn it. We'll do our best. Right, I think this is all done. Let's put the APU on the bus. We can switch off the GPU. And at this point in time, what I usually do is I just go to my map. And I have it.
Okay, Captain, all doors and hatches are closed. We're ready to connect.
Right, beacon on to tell everybody we are about to start the engine, and I'm gonna switch on my fuel pumps. APU bleed, let's get some air into the system. We're going to have to switch off the packs shortly, but we might as well get them nice and comfy in the back. Peter, is this you next to me?
Yes, it's me.
Sorry I had to wait so long.
The tug's connected and
Sorry?
the bypass pin's
Sorry you
installed.
had to wait
Please
so
parking
long.
brake.
No problem. I like it.
Alright, so then let's kill the parking brake. Let's go.
We're commencing pushback. Clear to start engines in sequence.
I have a strange livery.
Yeah, I see. Right, so as in the real world, you need about a minute for the APU to really get started properly, to do the startup proper with enough pressure. And I never did a timer on it, so I'm gonna guess packs off for this one. And let's try start number 2. Starting number 1. So I forgot to say, but I mean, you need to wait until at least 24 N1, 24, 25 N1. If you go to higher altitudes, 23
Around
maybe.
the fly deck, the pushback's complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set, and
We're
there we go.
disconnecting the tow. Stand by.
Fuel goes into number 1. At about 56 into, we should get the starter cut out. There we go, and we can put them on continuous. Put the bus on. APU bleed off, APU off. Packs goes back on, very important, and then pro beads need to go on. Then let's go for flaps 5 and move to the check page. So we're going to check our controls, make sure that they
Phase
work.
disconnected. Bypass pin has been removed. Hand signals to the right, and we'll see you next time. Have a safe flight. Cheerio.
Thank you, cheerio. Alright, that's it. So now we can switch on our taxi light and get going. Tommy, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm really glad if I can help someone.
Morning.
Who's that? Who said morning?
Me.
You. Morning. Hello, Uncle John. I thought we said hello already.
Yeah, Anthony and myself are parked up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me too.
See my screen?
No, I'm not looking at your screen. Give me a moment. Dow. My Discord just froze up on me as I tried to get into your screen there. There we go, I can see you.
I apologise for that.
No, not your fault. Scotsman, yeah, we'll have to remind Rabbi. On that note, gents, just as a matter of interest, okay, if you forget to put your packs on and you do start to black out, you can switch on the oxygen mask by pressing that button, and you switch it off by pressing this button. So just FYI, if you find yourself in that predicament, put it on your mask. I think you've got 30 minutes oxygen in it, in the tank. So that should get you safely down to a breathable altitude and where you can reset your oxygen, the pressurization system. And I think I might have taxied. Oh no, I did not. It looks different because I'm so used to the Orbeck scenery. I almost thought I made a mistake. Right, okay, well, I was supposed to stop before, so let's do it now. I'm going to do the before takeoff checklist. Yeah, Ryan? Okay, alright, so that's on. Let's go put our transponder on. Squawk Charlie. Weather and terrain. And there we go. All the lights should be done. Yes.
Where the arrival weather is a little bit bumpy, sir.
No worries. That's fun. You need to set the setting to auto disconnect. There is a setting that you need to set. Now the trick with the X-Plane 12 version, let me show you quickly, is you need to set all the settings in X-Plane 11 and then copy the file into X-Plane 12. Otherwise, you cannot save the settings in X-Plane 12 for some stupid reason. Preferences. There. So that's my settings. Okay, and over here it says auto disconnect when done. Yeah, you need to put it in there, but you can't do this in X-Plane 12 unless it's been fixed that I don't know of it. So go to X-Plane 11, set it up, copy the preferences file. It's in your output preferences folder. There's a better pushback preferences file. Copy it into 12 once you've set it up the way you want it, and there you go, done. Timer. Here we go. Toga, Peter.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice flight.
Thank you, you too. gear up and command A. There we go. Woohoo! Right, I'm going to go to standard because we're not stopping before transition altitude, so I don't have to worry about that. We put our gears, the lever to off so that we don't bleed out hydraulics if there is a leak, and we go RTO off. Yeah, Steve, yeah, good luck. Just stick to Python 10, don't go to 11, and you'll be fine. It looks beautiful, eh? It's stunning. It's an interesting little gap over there. Yeah, otherwise just come to Discord. Somebody here will help you, I'm sure.
Nico, you level off. You have an altitude restriction.
I do.
Oh, you want to respect that?
Let's do this. Okay, so the Zibo obviously respected that. Let's press altitude intervent to bypass it. Unless there's more, that should take care of it. But it's not. That's interesting. Should altitude intervent not just cancel it and go on?
It depends if he's on the first line or second line or whatever it is.
I've pressed altitude intervent and I've pressed it a second time now. Now it goes past. Now it's taken it. Maybe I mispressed. Yeah. I don't know.
What I noticed as well is that during what you have as a selection in the settings for the auto flight system.
Let me show you.
I didn't select. Okay, that's correct. But there is a mistake in the Zibo, because when you press toga for takeoff, adding select kicks in, which is normal in the FMA, because you have adding select and below it LNAV white. But on the MCP, adding select light should not be on, because that's not adding select as a function. It's only the toga mode using adding select as a fictitious way to maintain the runway trap.
I'm with you.
So we'll just bring this to Zibo.
Yeah.
EHAM Center is online, gentlemen.
Thank you. Right, so in terms of flight planning and execution, getting it into the Zibo and getting in the air and flying, the tutorial is done. I mean, there's not much more I can tell you in terms of a basic thing. Once we go advanced, that's a totally different story. Then there's plenty more we can show you, but this is the quickest way to get in the air is just follow what I told you this morning. Done and dusted. What? Look at this, look at this. Look at the weather. It's filthy. There's EHAM. We're kind of the bottom end there. Gee whiz.
I did warn you, sir.
I know, but I didn't see it like this. I just watched on your stream there. Yeah.
That's why they say Netherlands is a nice country, but it should have a roof.
I never heard that before. Cool. I will, Tommy, I will. Oh, it looks heavy. Oh yeah, you see, Linda isn't here now. I forget about my landing lights and all kinds of other lights. Oops. Oh my goodness. Please guys, remember. Do as I say, don't do as I do. There we go. Lights are off. Auto ignition off. Oops. 10,000 feet guys. 10,000 feet, they go off. cloud formations. So did you guys see that Laminar is planning to do the full release for X-Plane 12 in December now? Any bets on 1st of December or 31st of December at 11:59 p.m.?
25th.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Let me check when I'm on annual leave, so I will be away from my house.
You see, there I know it always happens. Good games.
Yeah. I will let you know.
They didn't specify the year, though.
Oops. Yeah. Hello, Antonio.
Hey, Nico.
I mentioned you earlier, I tried to speak to you, but you didn't respond, so I take it you were away from the keyboard.
Yeah.
How far are you with the update that we spoke about last night?
Yeah. So I was also following the chat in Discord, and I will write something in the README file because there are something we have to be aware of.
Okay, that's fine. Look at this, Sasso. Look, it's that typical icing condition display. So I'm going to put on anti-ice quickly. It's weird. I mean, there shouldn't be any ice where we are now, but it's giving me exactly the same response.
Unless you did ice accumulation during climb out.
It could be, but then again, that's something we're gonna have to then train the guys on, because you're gonna sit like this, and the next moment you're just gonna nosedive.
No, exactly. Do one thing, Nico. In this case, go out from VNAV, go in vertical speed, 500 feet a minute, and then maximum continuous thrust on the FMC. Yeah, 500 feet a minute. 292, leave it there, the speed is good, and just select continuous on the FMC.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, continue, perfect.
Yeah, we're on it. Seems to have stabilized a little bit, and just as I say it, it changes again.
When it comes to running a small business, there's no one.
Morning, Mac.
Morning.
How art thou?
Oh, that's crazy. That's a crazy drop in performance.
Zibo, I hope you're watching.
It's absolutely not realistic.
Nico.
I know what you're saying. But there's more to it, Christer. What you're saying is true. No problem with that. But there's more to this.
Yeah, maybe so, but I don't believe it's icing. I don't.
No, that's not icing. That's beep from laminar.
Yeah, if it's laminar or it's Zibo mod, I can't tell. I can't say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not right.
No, of course. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's not right.
Nico, reduce the speed. Make it 280 and then press level change. Don't use VNAV.
I'm using vertical speed at 500.
No, exactly. But now make it 280 and level change. Yeah, that should work.
It's gone to Mach now, but it's basically 280.
No, it's fine.
Thousand to go.
On my climb, I had to set manual climb on VS for between 500 and 1,000 feet, or else I will be too slow.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is definitely something that either Zibo or Laminar needs to fix.
on the real weather side, there is still a lot of job to do.
Oh yes, it's real weather.
Yeah, looking at the wind arrow and speed, probably it's that causing Zibo to make some strange things.
I think the forces that's playing in on the aircraft from the weather side, that code is too strong. It's over-exaggerated.
Yeah, I mean, on winds aloft can change in direction and speed a little bit, but even if it happens, the inertia of a liner is so big that the changing in speed is not so so huge and immediate. It's a little bit smoother.
I agree.
Nico, do we have on X-Plane, probably in the developer menu, a way to see the forces displayed over an aircraft while you're flying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember the key combination, but there is.
I guess it is in the developer menu somewhere.
I'm
The
just
going.
I'm just going there to point you in the right direction and just start and explain.
Yeah, Beauty is telling us what it is, but I can't hear him. Say again.
Control M.
Control M. There.
A couple of times, so you will see the lines going out of the plane.
This one. There we go.
I've pressed it a couple of times, so you're going to have to tell me which one is this one.
Actually, I have the delay of the... I don't know if you're streaming on Discord, because I have the delay of the...
Let me stream on Discord. My FPS is horrible, but I'll stream quickly and then you shout stop. There, I'm streaming.
Where are you? Yeah. Okay, go. Okay, wait on this one.
This is
That's
the lift.
the element force.
Yeah.
That's basically the lift. Okay. Well, yes, the inboard is producing more lift. That's fine.
Here's your element forces plus the angle of attack.
That's the angle of attack. Doesn't make really any sense.
Stream winds delta.
Stream winds delta. What the hell it means?
No idea.
Well, now seems stable. Is he now, if you go inside the cockpit, is he still jumping up and down?
Not that much. Not that much. It is moving, but it's not that much.
I don't know, man. That's crazy. For sure it's not correct.
Yeah. There's the streamlines.
Anyway, look at the front line on the clouds on your left. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the tropopause. Actually, not the tropopause, but the yeah, when the troposphere meets the tropopause.
Microburst, and there it's off. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that one should be the system you also saw on the map before.
That's a squall line.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful squall line.
Shoo, we made it.
Get continuous thrust on on cruise.
Yeah.
Get the engine start switches on continuous and only the engine anti-ice on, not the wing, only the engine. And start the timer. Let's wait 3 minutes. Okay. Just want to see if we stabilize something.
The Zibo seems to be struggling to maintain the correct N1. It's either too fast or too slow, and then it's not reacting quick enough to just keep it simple.
It's jumping up and down. And the wind at this point in time is there. It's 220, 222. I mean, it's not jumping left to right, or crazy things. You should not even notice the turbulence when the wind is coming from that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, Anto is not jumping like left to right, or headwind, tailwind.
Yeah, I noticed
pretty
that
much
as
stable
well.
as a direction.
Yeah. But you see, it's immediate. As the wind comes from the back, the speed is going down, and vice versa. It's the reason is the wind change, but it's a huge,
exaggerated.
Absolutely,
very exaggerated.
Yeah.
That's what Zibo said the other day as well. Very exaggerated.
Nico, in the X-plane settings, do we have a developer? You know that there was in XP11, use the developer option or something similar? Do we have something similar in XP12?
There is a developer, but what are you looking for in the developer?
No. You're in the... Remember with the level up,
of the
flight model.
Advanced.
Yes. No, there's no experimental flight model. There's only the one laminar and then the Twixter one that we use. Remember, we don't use the laminar flight model. We use the Twixter.
Yes.
You saw Twixter is in Discord here. Eh? You can talk to
him.
I
saw it. Yeah.
And wind 170 degrees 1 tunnel.
Yeah, Clipper in the running 1 straight, tag 19.
Did someone try the default 737 to see if the wind is causing that speed change as much as in the Zibo?
Nope. Give me a second, need to speak to ATC. Amsterdam radar, good morning, Skymatix 001. We are inbound Enito from the western side into your airspace. We are descending to flight level 150.
Skymatix 001, hello, identified Psi Spike Born, Sierra Papa Yankee, send level 100.
Can you please repeat the directive, so we missed that, and I've got flight level 100.
Spike the board, Sierra Papa Yankee.
What? Sierra Papa Yankee? Where the hell is Sierra Papa Yankee? I don't have it in my flight plan.
It's a Spike Award.
Yeah.
Type it, man.
Morgan, identify Psi also.
Type it, Sierra Papa Yankee. Go there and then you would sort it out.
You can just enter it.
Yeah, I just did that Sierra Papa Yankee too. So you just put that in basically.
Yes. Changes approved.
Straight in
Have
front
a
of the
very
runway.
pleasant day. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's just more than.
You're in 2 for 8 Hotel, descend down to 3,000 feet, QNH 1008.
Yes, Sierra Papa Yankee is just the other side of the ILS, so you won't actually get to that waypoint.
Skymatix 052.
If you go in plan mode, that
Skymatix 052, transponder mode standby.
Yeah, apologies, Skymatix 052, transponder on standby.
You're in 2 for 8 Hotel, left turn heading 210, Cape Island 1 right, descend down to 2,000 feet.
Okay, it's done. Yeah.
look now. We're descending quite fast, and the speed is going down. It's completely wrong.
Okay, now 520, Amsterdam, go.
I bet there is a conditional waypoint that's causing this problem again.
Even.
No, but I'm not talking about the waypoint or the navigation in general. But if you pitch down 4,000 feet a minute, your speed should go up like 40 knots. You know what I mean? It's not a matter of navigation, just a matter of performance.
Yeah, but look what happens. Because that conditional waypoint puts you either high or low, the VNAV path is messed up. The VNAV path is wrong. The one moment it's up, the one moment it's down. And this aircraft's trying to negotiate whether it needs to go faster down or faster up, or less slow down. You know, it's crazy.
Expect stand Charlie 11.
Yeah, Sasso was speaking about physics.
Yes. I don't care about the constriction. I'm just saying, if you are descending at 4,500, the speed should go crazy high. Instead, it was stationary. It was just staying there for some reason.
Yeah, the reason is the wind is going from back to side, and the speed is going up and then down. Yeah, it's exaggerated, as said Nico. Exaggerated the reaction of the speed with the wind change.
We have one person on board and request started.
KLM 520, start on approved, runway 23, QNH 1008.
I really don't understand why they screw up such a nice simulator. Really
I don't know if they screw up or the design, I mean, of the planes has to be updated to the new physics. And I think that they developed something newer and better, and we need to adapt probably.
Skymatix 052, cross 1 center at Whiskey 5, after cross Delta and Alpha.
That's why I would like to fly some default plane and see what happens in those.
Right hand on
Whiskey 5 and
Yes, I mean, at the end, if you go up at 30,000 feet,
stand,
without touching VNAV and LNAV, and just go with the basics, just hit level change and increase the speed, or just drop 4,500 feet a minute in vertical speed, even if you have the thrust on idle, I promise you the speed is going to increase.
Yeah.
Affirm.
Otherwise, there is no reason to have the speed brake.
Cruising 248 Hotel, runway 18 right, clear to land, wind 190 degrees, 1 knot.
Nico de minima.
Skymatix VA Flight, level 70.
Was that for Skymatix 001?
Affirm, descent level 070.
070,
How much you
Skymatix
add to the
001.
minima usually is also 60?
No, when it's a precision minima, we just take it as it is on the charts. When it's a MTA, a non-precision approach, we add 40 feet.
Stalling problem, so we are changed. It was
Only if it's non-precision.
and we are now speeding up again.
Roger, please check your course. You're now making a different course time to go.
Request taxi from.
Oh, come on, man, you idiot.
Kilo 520, taxi 1 point Sierra, 1 runway 23, fine Sierra.
No, I missed it.
Sierra 1, 40.23 via Sierra.
It's not letting me click there. Why not?
Go on the letters below it.
It's not allowing me to click.
5.94,
There,
taxi
okay,
stand
I had to
Sierra,
zoom
11
out.
via south.
Charlie 11,
Amsterdam Control Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet, sir, we are requesting flight level 3304 for stall recovery.
Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet,
What the hell is it doing?
Maintaining flight level 340, Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet.
Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet, would you like to declare an emergency?
Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet, we recovered the stall and we are now okay.
Turkish Airlines Delta Juliet, roger. You're in 248 Hotel, welcome Schiphol, clear to Whiskey 5 and expect stand Bravo 20.
Yeah, VNAV just went through the path without any change.
No, VNAV is just unusable. You can't go. Are you using the common VNAV, Nico, or the basic?
Because I don't think so, because it changed it from VNAV speed to VNAV path. But
exactly.
So it shouldn't be in
No, it should be the common one.
Yeah.
I've removed that conditional waypoint, so it should stabilize now. That conditional waypoint is not a problem.
But that one was on the go around, Nico.
I understand, but for some reason it's still a problem.
Skymatix 001, clearing and level 050.
Really?
Yeah. Flight level 050, Skymatix 001.
Skymatix 206, descend level 070.
Descend level 070, Skymatix 20.
Look, it stopped bouncing. See, BNAV path is now stabilized just by taking out that
People
thing.
control Turkish Liner Data Juliet.
I've no idea why it would influence the flight plan,
and if you wish,
but it
you
did.
can climb again flight
Yeah,
level
but you
360.
see, VNAV is broken, Nico.
I know,
You
I
are
understand.
descending VNAV speed for some reason, and he's not maintaining
Turkish Liner
1,000
Data
feet
Juliet,
a minute, and
we
you
are
are
not
below
able
profile.
to climb 380,
Why
too
is
much
that?
weight. So
Broken.
360 is okay if you wish, or we can
What's that,
maintain
broken?
flight level 34.
Takes 9 Juliet, climb level 360.
Climb flight level 360.
Yeah,
Turkish Liner
it
Data
seems
Juliet.
like it behaves the same below and over the path. It goes to speed instead below the path, should remain in path and reduce the descent rate.
No, Nico, you have the basic VNAV, not the common one. That's the behavior of the...
Hold on, ATC. Please repeat for 001.
Skymatix 001, turn left heading 100.
Turning left to heading 100, Skymatix 001. Sorry guys, I'm getting closer to land now and I'm getting vectors, so we might have to discuss this afterwards.
Bravo to the south.
Go, no problem.
Alpha to San
Okay,
Bravo.
good luck, Nico. And I have to go. See you later, guys.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Kilo 50, respond mode Charlie.
Suggestion, Nico, make the speed to 20.
KLM 520, respond mode Charlie.
Respond mode Charlie. Correct.
Remember,
Extend the center line. That's what I will do.
Bremen is offline, no further available. Unicom 128, bye-bye.
Take the 6-1.
128, thank you, bye-bye, November, Juliet.
So they're talking in my ears, say again?
Extend the center line. Take the 6-1 and take the intercept heading 182.
50, runway 23 cleared for the
I'm not with you, where are you now?
Alpha Mike 6-1 on top.
Okay, yeah.
And then intercept course 182. Just select the Alpha Mike 6-1, make it on top. No. Put it on top. Now, at bottom right, press 182. 182, and then execute. That's it. Now, make the speed at the 6-1.
Hold on. Descend to 2,000 feet, Skymatix 001.
Skymatix 206, left turn heading 100.
Left 100,
Skymatix 001, right turn heading 150, cleared ILS 18 right.
Right turn 150 and cleared ILS 18 right, Skymatix 001.
Skymatix 206, descend down to 3,000 feet, QNH 1008.
You wanna descend?
I want to, and it's not.
206, descend down to
Go in level
3,000
change.
feet,
Level
QNH
change.
1008.
P break out.
It's out.
P break out. Let's set the QNH.
Turkish 9 Delta Juliet, Scottish is offline, no further available. Unicom 128.
You are overshooting. Press nav.
Turkish 9 Delta Juliet, Unicom 128. Thank you for your service and help. Goodbye.
Better.
No. He gave me a vector. I was supposed to be on approach. You see, too many things happen at the same time.
VA 594, welcome. Switch to Unicorn 128.
Leave it, leave it. He will take it. Leave the speed there.
There we go. Now it's descending.
Skymatix 052 on the blocks, gates, Foxtrot 9.
Skymatix 052, what's your frequency change approved?
Frequency change approved, thanks for ATC, have a good day, bye.
Interesting. Hello, Epic. Thanks, Tommy.
Do you actually have the speed breakout, Nico?
I do.
Wow, the speed is not going down.
I know, that's why I'm letting the gear down.
That's just the physics completely wrong.
206, right turn, heading 150, continue send down to 2000 feet, clear ILS, 1 is right, number 2.
And you have head to it.
Right,
the speed should drop like a stone.
Skymatix 001, maintain 160 knots till 4 DME.
160 until 4 DME, Skymatix 001.
2500.
Skymatix 206, reduce speed 160 knots.
Reduce speed 160 knots.
Eurowings 916, London is offline, no further aids available, Unicorn 122, decimate, have a nice flight, bye bye.
Downwind runway 23, KLM 50, request another touch up.
Speed break, Nico.
It's on, it's not the out.
Confirm you're maintaining 160 knots.
No, they are not armed probably. Look at the amber light on the right.
Oh,
Show
yeah.
them, they're
There we
armed
go.
again.
Okay.
Report downwind runway
No problem.
23, request another touch up. KLM 5.
KLM 50, stand by.
4 DME, we're at 4.9.
Skymatix 206, cancel approach clearance, right turn, 2 heading, 270, climb to 3000.
270, climb to 3000.
Just the physics of the airplane here, completely wrong.
Yep.
Skymatix 001, confirm maintaining 160 knots.
So the wind is messing us about. It goes 162, 158, 162, 158.
Watch.
I guess, Nico, you can post this link to Zibo.
The wind is 210 degrees.
You just can see climb and approach.
Yeah, I'm willing
to
try the default 737 and see if it's the same or not.
Yeah.
Physically, I mean, just
look at stable approach. Stable approach is giving bank angle and high bank angle. You see, high sink rate. I mean, what the hell? It's 1,000 feet minimum. So my feeling is that in the simulator, the parameters are like double. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep.
So for 5 degrees of bank, the aircraft is thinking to behave like 10 degrees bank angle.
Yep.
And so on. And of course it just goes crazy. can't call sync rate with 1,000 feet a minute.
Skymatix 001, runway 18 right, clear to land, wind 170 degrees, 9 knots.
Thank you, sir. Clear to land. Runway 18 right, Skymatix 001.
$500. $400. $300.
Yo.
Approaching minimums.
Fighting this wind.
Flight slow.
200.
Flight slow.
Ah, shush one.
Minimums. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20. $10.
Skymatix 206 right, turn heading 090.
Right, 090.
God, I don't want to be funny, but look at my throttles. They're not reducing. They're only now they're reducing. It's weird.
You did well considering the gap.
Yeah, but that is a problem because this time I did not make a mistake in pulling them back. I pulled them like 3 times to get it to slow down.
No,
and
no,
it didn't.
Nico is the airplane broken.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It's completely misbehaving.
206, clear the right
Completely.
turn, heading 150, continue stand down to 2,000 feet, cleared ILS, 18 right.
I don't know. I haven't touched Explain 12 for ages now. Doesn't look right to me. And to be honest, Laminar can say whatever they want, but unless they are magician, in December there will be no chance to have a good simulator. That's my feeling. Unless they eaten something to us.
Yeah.
Like they are already a beta 50 and we are a beta 11. Something like this. Anyway, Jen, sorry, I'm just running away. I will talk with you in the afternoon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Cecil.
Runway vacated, Skymatix 001.
Welcome, taxi to extraction, continue to Whiskey 5, expect stand Fox 8.
It's not a long trek now, Nico.
Can you text? Hold on. Can you please text for Skymatix 001, sir?
Skymatix 001, continue to Whiskey 5, expect stand Foxtrot 8.
Thank you, Whiskey 5 and then Foxtrot 8, Skymatix 001. Oh, everybody talking at the same time. Sorry, Uncle John, please repeat what you said. I had to cut you out of my hearing cycle to hear what you were saying.
Apologies. I said you've got a long trek down.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Oh, this was interesting. I mean, the other day, I don't know if it was the previous flight or what, but remember I said my reversers didn't kick in and I had to do the go around. That was really me. This was not me. I moved my throttles back at least 3 times and it just didn't respond. The Zibo didn't respond at all. And I double checked, or the throttle was off, everything. It just didn't. Very interesting.
This flight has highlighted how much is wrong.
Yeah, this one I'll send to Zibo specifically for him to have a look.
206, runway 18 right, clear to land, wind 180 degrees, 09 knots, max 12.
Clear to land 185, Skymatix 206.
Bravo, Cannon, good morning, sir.
Hotel Bravo, Echo November, 6 o'clock 1000.
Clock 1000, Echo November.
Hotel Bravo, Bravo, Echo November, identified, climb level 330, proceed direct Halsey.
330, direct Halsey, Echo November.
Located runway 23 at Cherokee, KLM 50.
KLM 50, welcome to Lely Start, taxi to Delta Airport via Sierra. Frequency change is approved, bye-bye.
Taxi to Delta Airport Sierra via Sierra, and Sierra is approved. Thank you.
Absolutely,
Bye-bye.
Robert. But not just Zibo, Twixter as well. Between Zibo and Twixter, and I mean, they can't chase their tail the whole time. Laminar is going to have to come to the party and give some stability, and then they can work really, because unless they fix this weather or we get a different weather engine,
what's your report to flight level?
Zibo and Twixter are going to chase their tails.
Level 330, Echo November.
Oh yeah, just what I said, Dracula, exactly.
The standard altimeter 1013. Hotel Bravo, Bravo, Echo November, confirm you on QNH 1013. Skymatix 001, course 18 center is approved at Whiskey 5 after course Delta and Alpha to stand Foxtrot 8.
Crossing the runway is approved, sir, and we will then use Delta and go to Foxtrot 8. Thank you, sir. Skymatix 001.
Skymatix 001, fire taxiways Delta and Alpha.
Thank you, sir. Delta and Alpha to Foxtrot 8. Well, there's Delta and Alpha's right on the routine. Okay. What a taxi. What a taxi.
"25 minutes if you have bad luck."
Yes, correct. And now I've got to be careful. I need to cross the runway. I don't want to turn the wrong way now. Yeah, that's right. Then this middle one. Yeah, I remember, yes. Me and another friend of mine who's a real commercial pilot. He doesn't fly Boeings, but he is a commercial pilot. We used to fly for many years, and Saturday mornings, Amsterdam was our target. And we would fly in from all over, and we would work on these ATC guys' nerves, because we would fly too close together, and they had their hands full with us.
206, welcome to Schiphol,
we had fun.
Whiskey 5, expect send Golf 2.
I know from then now. I don't fly into it that much anymore, but yeah.
Expecting Golf 2.
ATC is busy.
Yeah. Steve, on your comment there, apparently Laminar is now said. I did not see the statement, but I've heard from someone else that they have now said that they will open the weather API to other developers. We'll have to see when and where and how. Because the first thing I'm buying is Xenviro. Promise you that. And if Active Sky actually do come to the party, I'll get that as well. And then we can play with both. Yeah, it would be nice. Anyway, for those of you that did invest in X-Enviro for 2020, there's a new update available. You should have received your email already, so you can go download the latest version. I'll give it a bash later on as well, see what's changed.
Trying to figure out where you're going, Nico.
Uncle John, he's sending me to Foxtrot 8 and he says I must use Delta and Alpha.
Okay. I expected you to turn left. Not long ago.
Well,
yeah, you missed Alpha. There's two of them, but it must go 90 degrees because you should have taken that last turn.
Okay, I see.
22,
There's two bloody Alphas. You're right. There's two Alphas. Hold on.
All right. Sorry, Nico.
Amsterdam radar Skymatix 001. We had our eye on the wrong Alpha. I see there's two Alphas.
Right
so I'm going to have to backtrack here, turn around and go back again. Skymatix 001.
Sorry, 001, continue to Alpha 25, left Alpha, and then right Alpha.
Left Alpha and right Alpha from Alpha 25, Skymatix 001. Apologies.
Skymatix 206, 55, request crossing 1
Skymatix 206, cross 1 center, whiskey 5, after cross Delta and Alpha to Golf.
Can cross 1 center, after that go to Delta and Alpha to Golf 2, Skymatix 206.
Now answer me this. Why would there be two Alphas?
206, respond mode standby.
I immediately saw the one I'm on now. I immediately saw it and I saw it was going down that way and
I should have spoke up earlier.
Well, the complete circle in Amsterdam is called Alpha. You can go left or right.
Yeah, now that you mention it, Alpha goes right around the airport. It's a damn circle. Okay, I've learned my lesson.
Yep. And we drive it to the right, so when you go one direction, you go in Alpha, and the other direction.
Skymatix 001, give way to the company 737 from left to right.
I will give way to company traffic, Skymatix 001. And now you have the right of way. How's that?
Thank you, sir.
the kind of mistake you only make once, eh?
Yep.
I know this airport like the back of my hand.
Yeah, you're lucky. I haven't been here in many years. I mean, we flew it for many years, so I knew it then, but you know, you don't use it, you lose it.
Well, I'm there in a month's time anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you're still coming?
Am I?
I hope so.
What's the date? Yeah. A month tomorrow.
Wow.
Date-wise, on the 7th.
Are you landing here the 7th or only leaving the 7th there?
I'm landing on the 7th. So I'll get to you on the 7th, the end of the day.
Ah, okay, on Reinhard's birthday.
Ah, must be.
Hmm.
It's either the 7th or the 8th. I know they changed it. They cancelled my outgoing flight. Put it forward a day.
No worries. So, Foxtrot 8 is now the next step.
You should see all the tails.
Now I can see. Olaf did well. Olaf did a good job with ATC. Olaf, if you're listening, thank you very much. This looks so nice. I need to turn in there. I don't know where the link line is. Oh, I'm on it. There it is, just there.
So one disadvantage with the water.
No, you just got to get the angle right, then you'll see it.
Skymatix 206, frequency change is approved. It's Unicom 1 to 8 flap.
Tommy, thanks man, thanks for watching.
It's Unicom 1 to 2, dankjewel voor de service, Olaf. Fijne dag, tot de volgende.
Tot de volgende.
It's a shame everybody
Skymatix 001, frequency change is approved. Bye-bye.
Olaf, thank you very much for the ATC. I really appreciate your service. Have a good day from Skymatix 001.
I've got a couple of pics for you, Nico.
Thank you. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. Man, enjoy whatever it is that you're going to do. I'm still working in the background here, by the way. I've got systems running here like crazy, so I'll go check on them, and then I'll probably go do another flight somewhere just by myself. And I'll speak to you guys later if possible.
Yeah, thanks for the flight.
Thank you, Nico.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Nico. Bye.